Slow down, cosmic fishies. We are officially swimming in the eclipse portal waters, the space between two worlds, the portal between the Leo new moon solar eclipse that just happened on August and the Pisces full moon lunar eclipse that happens on August 27th. This is a time period of fated destiny, of new beginnings, of new soul contracts coming online, new connections coming into your orbit, opportunities coming into your orbit that might not have been there before that are aligned with your soul's destiny. This is also the time where karmic contracts play out with removal. People, places, and habits and routines, and even locations that are not aligned with your highest truth, with your highest timeline, could be dissolving or parting ways at this time. What does this week of eclipse season mean for you? Let's go ahead and jump in. This is your AstroWeather forecast for the week of August 17th to the 23rd, 2026. What's up, everyone? For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm the Astro Mama. I bring the cosmos down to earth to help ground deep feelers, creatives, and mystics. As a certified professional astrologer and a board-certified psycho-spiritual life coach, through readings, events, and forecasts like this one, I'm here every week going day by day, major transit by major transit, so you can swim with the cosmic current instead of against it. We can't choose what's happening in the sky above us. We can't choose what's happening in the cosmology within us or also globally, but we can choose the way that we utilize it for growth, for expansion, for also opportunities to be more in our bodies, to be more on this planet Earth that we all call home, and to be more present with one another. I skip days for the sake of time that I don't feel like there's anything major going on. If you are listening to something and you're like, "Ooh, that really resonates with me. I want to go deeper," or "Ooh, that doesn't feel aligned with me at all," those are good opportunities to book a personal transit reading with me. The link to do so is below. I'd be so happy to work with you. I have a sale going on. It's going to end on September 1st. You'll get 20% off readings you book with me through my Grounded Mystic quiz. The link to do so is below. It'll pair you with the best reading for you. You'll also get a free tarot card pull. There are timestamps below, so please feel free to skip ahead or backward towards whatever date that you're on. I like to listen to forecasts like these at the beginning of my week, the morning of, and then sometimes the night of as well, if it seems to have been a really powerful day for me. Now, I had a really busy weekend. It was more of a professionally busy weekend. I did some volunteering for the San Diego Astrological Society, doing readings. That was so fun. And I also held my first 11th house event. It was such a beautiful night of sisterhood, of astrology, of community and connection in San Diego. If you are interested in joining the next one, it'll be on September 5th. Sign up for my mailing list with the link below so you can get updates and the link to book your spot. It was so amazing, and I just can't wait to see the community continue to grow and evolve and expand. But that being said, myself and yourself, depending on how your weekend went, might be feeling a little foggy or exhausted at the beginning of the week. And that's because on Monday, August 17th, Mars will be making a square to Neptune at 2:52 a.m. Pacific time. You could be feeling a little sensitive, a little vulnerable, or even just like a little exhausted. Some of you might be literally hung over and just, not the most vibrant expression of you, but that's okay, because later on in the morning, Mercury will make a trine to Saturn at 8:26 a.m. Pacific time, and Venus will make a sextile to Jupiter at 9:15 a.m. So those are helpful transits when it comes to shaking off any stagnant energy, clearing any fog on your path, and just taking the next step forward. Instead of thinking about or getting in your head about analyzing every step that you're taking, every decision that you're making, how can we just align with the next step forward? Last year, I had another podcast project I was working on, and I got to interview this lovely woman, Siga. She is a healer and a guide, and she was sharing about how when she has mornings that she skips her morning routine and she's in bed and she's just doom scrolling on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, instead of getting to her head and making all these stories about how she should have, eaten better, she should have woken up earlier, she shouldn't have doom scrolled on social media, she just gets up and starts the day. And this is like revolutionary advice for those of us who are deep learners, creatives, and mystics. We run anxious. We can get into our heads. At least I can speak on my own behalf. I can be a perfectionist. I have Mars in Virgo. I like things to be very specific. I'm very hard on myself, or at least I have been in the past. I'm working on being less that way. It's so easy to make a quote unquote wrong choice, or to make a choice that you perceive as wrong and then spiral around, that was so wrong, that was so bad, and I'm so bad, and I'm so da da da. And then it's like now you're in this low vibration and you're navigating your day from this place of shame and guilt and insecurity and being self-conscious and being down on yourself. And now you're attracting situations in your life that are just reinforcing that belief, and you're attracting people that are reinforcing that belief. They're not taking your time seriously. They're being cruel. They're being unkind. They're being disrespectful, whatever that is, because you're being disrespectful towards yourself, and they're just mirroring that into you. And now it turns into this whole thing where you just keep making decisions. You keep making choices that are reinforcing this belief that you're not enough. Other people are feeling it. They're responding to it. You're feeling it within yourself. Your body's responding to it. Your body's starting to deteriorate. It's a whole thing. And we don't need to do that. We could just simply get up and say, okay, I spent all morning doom scrolling on Instagram because Mars was square Neptune and I was feeling foggy, and that's okay. Now that Mercury's making a trine to Saturn, now that Venus is making sextile to Jupiter, I'm going to get up and I'm just going to do the next best thing. I'm going to do the next best thing. I'm recording this podcast at 8:22 on a Monday night. Do I want to do that now? Is this the next best thing that I could do today? Yes, it is. Did I feel foggy today? It's Monday. Yeah, I did. Are we still here? Yeah. Are we still making it work? Of course we are. Am I going to look back when I'm editing this and think that I probably look ugly or tired, or I said the wrong things, or I should have slept 8 hours before I did this, or I should have? Yeah, definitely. But that's okay. That means that you're human. I'll just share one more thing about this energy before we talk about the moon going into Scorpio. I was talking to a friend about how I made a mistake at an event that I held once. It was bad. Or at least I thought it was bad. And I was telling her about the mistake, and I was talking about how I feel so bad. And she was like, actually, I think it's a good thing that you feel bad, because it means that your ego is in check. And we were just dying laughing. And she was like, if you were a narcissist, if you were, all these things I kept saying I was, because I reacted in a certain way to the situation, she's like, you wouldn't care. Like, I would actually be concerned. But because you care so deeply and because you're so worried about this, you clearly have a healthy ego, and that's a good thing. And you know what? Maybe you have a healthy ego and you can just at least tell yourself that that's why you are reacting the way that you are today. And, the moon enters Scorpio at 2:46 p.m. Pacific time, and that's a very intense energy. It does make a trine to Mars in Cancer and a square to Pluto in Aquarius. So, you could be just feeling more emotionally volatile, emotionally sensitive. It could just be really hard to shake your emotions today. It's almost like you feel like you can't hide them. They're a button that you have on your jacket or something, and everybody knows about them. And I'm not saying that they actually do, but there could just be this kind of feeling, especially with moon square Pluto, around, I'm feeling this, I have an emotion, I'm feeling it, I don't like this emotion. Not only do I not like this emotion, but I'm so bad for having this emotion. So now there's shame above the emotion. And then there's this false sense that everybody can feel it and that I'm somehow going to get isolated or outcast because of it. So your homework tonight, this is Monday, I guess this has already happened, but if this has already happened by the time that you are watching this podcast, how can you nourish your heart on Tuesday, nourish your spirit, and give yourself that love that you so desperately crave and want, and give yourself that healing, the tenderness and the devotion to those more sensitive parts that could have come up for you on Monday. Welcome to Wednesday, August 19th. At 8:03 p.m. Pacific time, the sun in Leo makes a trine to Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius, and this activates our raw primal essence. This is a great night to dance, to play, to move some energy, especially because this alignment is happening with the sun in Leo, in Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius. Leo and Sagittarius are freedom seekers. They are free-spirited signs of the zodiac. They love to play. They love to express themselves in different ways, but for the most part, there's this sense of identity that they both hold. And there's a courage that they both have to break out from or break away from that which is not aligned with their soul frequency, with their truth, and with their mission on this earth, which is what we can really learn from all the fire signs. Now, what I feel like because of this alignment happening today on Wednesday, August 19th, is that there's a cage that you've been stuck in. And the difference is it wasn't a cage that somebody put you in. It was a cage that you put yourself in. I feel very strongly for many of you that this will be a cage in your own mind, a thought pattern, a belief system, some sort of loop, some sort of spiral, or it could be a habit that you really need to let go of, but you're just really attached to. And it could just be a part of your schedule, saying yes to all the plans that you don't actually want to be involved in, saying yes to being in connection with people who are draining your energy, just muting your frequency or judging you, or even just eating or drinking certain foods or substances that are diminishing your life force, or the opposite, starving yourself and not fueling your body enough to have the energy to do the things that you want to do. Whatever that is for you, this is the time to unlock that door to the cage yourself and to set yourself free. And to remember that as much as I think we all truly crave somebody to come save us. Like I have not met anybody who's being honest, who does not have somewhere deep within their heart a desire to be saved. It could be because, we were all abandoned by source during birth or something. It could be childhood trauma. It could be attachment wounds. It could also just be all the movies that we watched growing up of people being saved by, by lovers or princes or princesses or whatever, right? But the truth is, we are the only ones that can save ourselves. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. So today, how can you be that person for yourself? And ask yourself, what leads to long-lasting change? So as you're breaking free from this cage, what leads to long-lasting change? It's like, that documentary I watched sometime last year or the year before about The Biggest Loser. I remember growing up watching that show. I was a fat kid. I was bullied. It was a whole thing. My mom tried to put me on Weight Watchers. It was very traumatic. And this isn't obviously to fat shame anybody. I think we all have different body types and all that. But this is growing up, the size that I was at the time that I was traumatizing because of the culture that was surrounding body image at that time and diet culture. And so I remember watching Biggest Loser, and I would like cry at the reveals, and I would literally like beg my parents, like, can you just send me to fat camp? Like, can you just send me to do something? Like, I'm so glad that they didn't. But at the time, like, I really wanted that. And unfortunately, I ended up with an eating disorder. It was a whole thing. I lost like 80 pounds. I probably didn't need to lose 80, but fast forwarding to being an adult, this documentary comes out, and I notice the parts of me that still to this day have this sort of fantasy of, if whenever I don't like my body, there's going to be some sort of opportunity to go into hiding, to do extreme measures to get to looking a certain way, to then come back into society. And there were so many things wrong with that program. Number one, obviously that isolating people to obtain a fitness goal. That's very toxic because number one, you're telling them that how they are right now is so bad that they need to like leave society and hide. And number two, you're telling them that they can only re-enter society or re-enter their lives in this new physique that is more aligned with societal standards. Number three, you're putting them in these insane conditions that are not healthy. In this documentary, there was a doctor that was attached to the program, and he was saying that he had to leave because he would literally tell the fitness coaches, he would tell the producers, you cannot do XYZ because you're ruining this person's metabolism. You're putting them at risk for injury. Making them exercise that much and eat that little could put them into a heart attack. It makes their chances of gaining weight after the program like significantly higher than if they did this slower. But, for TV and for the glitz and the glamour and for the wow factor, they pushed people to that point. And there's a lot of research that shows that most people who finished that program ended up just as heavy as they were before they started or heavier. And that's so sad. And it's not sad because of their body type, like we talked about, but they specifically chose people who were unhappy with their body shape and exploited them for media consumption and put them in positions where they would be physically inept or unable to maintain it. And then, of course, all the shame that probably came with that must have been so heartbreaking. So not that, wow, the moon is in Scorpio as I'm recording this. I'm not trying to be, negative, but it's just a reminder of like, we have to continue checking ourselves, and especially with Chiron and Taurus and with Uranus and Gemini and with social media culture and Ozempic culture and all these things, like, what are we really doing? Every time that we add a habit, we add a wellness practice, we add a wellness habit, we add a certain nutritional component to our life, what are we really doing? And every time we subtract something, what are we really doing? And where can we all together find balance? And for some of you, finding that balance could be what breaks you free, getting out of this very polarized, line of thought. Welcome to Thursday, August 20th. At 1:30 a.m., the moon enters Sagittarius, bringing about a little more of an optimistic, positive, expansive vibe to our cosmic conversation. Now, the moon in Sagittarius makes an opposition to Uranus in Gemini. You could have some surprises today, like some surprising news or some surprising emotions that come up for you today. With moon sextile Pluto in Aquarius, there could be this like transformative component to your emotional landscape today. Moon opposite Uranus can also produce like unexpected emotions. So you could have this thing where you're like, okay, I'm going to set out and I'm going to walk 10,000 steps today. And you're like on your walk or on your treadmill or something. And you have this like unexpected frame change where you're like, actually, no, I really want to walk outside. So I'm going to go outside. Or actually, I'd rather spend this time with my children. I haven't seen them all day. Or actually, I'd rather practice my instrument that I'm learning because I could walk later or something. Like there could be just this, or the opposite. Like you spend all day sitting and you're like, okay, I need to go for a walk because my body hurts. Like whatever that is for you could be playing out. The moon will also be making a trine to Neptune in Aries, and it will be making a square to the sun in the north node. So moon trine Neptune, like you could be feeling more creative, you could be feeling more emotional, more sensitive, more spiritual. So maybe you're swapping out that walk for drawing in your journal, or maybe you're doing both. Maybe you're walking on a standing desk and you're drawing, or maybe you're walking to this pretty destination at a beach or something and you're creating art once you arrive there. And there's, the cosmos, there's a synthesis available always. We just have to look for it. With the moon squaring the sun, again, you could just be feeling a little in the north node. You could just be feeling a little sensitive. And I think that's also true given that Mars is in Cancer right now. So I hope that you're honoring yourself and nurturing yourself. And also, I said this at my workshop on Saturday, the 11th house. When we're giving ourselves more grace and love because it's the eclipse, we have to give other people more grace and love because it's the eclipse too. And this can be hard, right? But we have to remember that there is, what I love about like global astrology or mundane astrology is it's a reminder that we are all connected to the same cosmic conversation. We are all swimming within the same cosmic current. So yeah, you're having your personal stuff going on, your personal transits, your personal charts, but there is this larger cosmic conversation happening at all times. And so when you go to the grocery store and everybody's pissy, you can look at the astrology and be like, everybody's pissy because of this transit. Or when you're planning a party, you can plan it for a day that more people will be feeling more vibrant and active and excited. Let's fast forward to Friday. Welcome to Friday, August 21st at 5:42 a.m. Pacific time. Venus makes an opposition to Saturn. You could be feeling like it's just like a reality check vibe when it comes to love, beauty, and finances. Perhaps something happened this week, or maybe this was like apparent to you with yesterday's astrology that you got a bill that you weren't expecting, or you had a conversation with a loved one or with your partner that wasn't as pleasant, or maybe you just aren't feeling yourself today. Like you get a pimple or something and you're anxious about the pimple. So this is a good day to dye your eyes, cross your T's, and to just get down to the drawing board. As much as our emotional world matters so much, and I've been talking about throughout this podcast, tend to your emotional waters, nurture yourself. Sometimes we also just need to make a good old-fashioned to-do list or a spreadsheet or have a Zoom call or hop on the phone and work something out with somebody. Being a little bit more in your head, but grounded. So grounded and kind, but more strategic, more pragmatic, more calculated and logical could be ways that you could move through this energy with a little bit more ease and a little bit more flow versus like a woe is me, everything, starting to get in your head about like everything happens to me, everything's bad. Da, da, da. It's like, let's not do that. Let's just get into a place of like, okay, let's be neutral. XYZ happened. What do I have control over? What can I do? And then taking action steps with that. Welcome to Saturday, August 22nd. Virgo season does start today, but before we get there, let's talk about how at 2 p.m. Pacific time, the sun in Leo, before it leaves, makes an opposition to the North Node in Aquarius. With sun opposite North Node, there could be some tension, some friction around where are you going? What are you growing into? And then also, what are you leaving behind? What do you need to release in order to align with that frequency? I have to show you. I got some acupuncture done today. At the end of our sessions, she gives us tea. And the woman who prepares the tea writes these little sayings on the sleeves. And I love them. They always are so divinely aligned, so synchronistic. And the one from today for Saturday, Your brain will find really creative ways to avoid going all in on your dreams, renegotiate your relationship to fee. The sun opposite the North Node today. Where do you want to go? Where's your soul evolving? And what do you need to release? What shame-based or fear-based beliefs, habits, systems, structures, relationships, attachments do you need to release to align with the frequency of where you're going? And remembering that it's meant to be uncomfortable. I have a girlfriend, her name's Genevieve Williamson. She's an amazing coach. So shout out like all the coaches and healers in my life right now. I feel so blessed and honored to be journeying with such amazing women. This is just so beautiful. Like sisterhood is medicine, being in connection with women is medicine. I just love seeing it. And so she came to my event on Saturday and she was talking about comfortability and this epiphany that she had where why does one always need to be comfortable? Whatever happened to realizing that we grow through being uncomfortable? And that's the vibe with the sun opposite the North Node. And the vibe continues on because at 2:59 p.m. Pacific time, the moon enters Capricorn, which tends to be an energy that is associated with working hard, with grinding away at something, with sometimes being a little overly self-critical, but for the most part, having really deep wells of ambition and drive and an ability to plant a blueprint and see it all the way through and to build something worth legacy, to build something that is long-standing. But anybody who's ever built anything long-standing is going to tell you that it takes time. I've never met a successful person with a business that just started. What can I create that I actually want to be long-standing? What can I really chisel away at? What can I really refine and just keep working at and refining? And the moon trines the sun in Virgo and Mercury in Leo. Is there something that you need to share, that you need to voice into the world? Is there a text you have to send, an email you have to send, somebody you have to ask out on a date, some sort of initiative that you can take to align you towards that goal? We can't just wish into existence. We have to be it. And then we also have to do it. So the wish is happening. I wish for this. The being is, who do I have to be energetically to align with it? Then there's the action of, I have to send this email. I have to make this blueprint. I have to go to the gym, whatever that is. I have to ask people out, or I have to go places where people could ask me out because I'm not going to find my soulmate in my room under my covers. The moon is opposite Mars today also. So just be aware of any impulsivity. Whenever something takes off immediately, it usually crashes. You want to have a nice slow growth over time, or have the capacity to be able to manage whatever it is that you are manifesting for the long term, for the long haul. Being in it for the long haul is a great quote to bring into the weekend. It does make a sextile to the North Node in Aquarius. We love that. While the sun is opposing the North Node, the moon's making a sextile, a nice soft flow of energy. Even though you're getting uncomfortable, you are feeling emotionally fulfilled while doing it. There is some sort of emotional significance for you that is nurturing your heart and it's making this trine to Chiron. How can you let your wounds be motivational fuel for your mission and for creating a place where you are speaking up for, advocating for, and encouraging the healing of others who have gone through something similar? Saturday night, the sun enters Virgo at 7:19 p.m. Happy birthday to all of our Virgo suns out there. Thank you for being the healers, the doctors, the caretakers, the engineers, the smartest, kindest people in the zodiac. I love a Virgo. Virgos are so deep and soulful and analytical and wise and just so caring and loving. Thank you for being devoted to making our world a better place. Thank you for being devoted to structures and routines. And thank you for being devoted to helping us all be the healthiest, most efficient versions of ourselves. I hope you have a great birthday celebrating. I hope you take time to celebrate yourself, Virgos. I'm looking at you. Take time out of your schedule to celebrate yourself for your birthday, please, and thank you. So welcome to Virgo season. From August 22nd, 2026 to September 22nd, 2026, we could all be taking a more pragmatic, more systematic, and more solutions-based approach to life. You could feel called to set a fitness goal or wellness goal and then make a spreadsheet to accommodate it, or to plan a new structure or routine in your business so that you have more flow, more ease throughout your day. You could be asking yourself questions like, how can I be of service to the collective, to people in my life? in a very balanced, nurturing way without losing myself. These are all themes that Virgo season can be representing within us. Virgo season can sometimes be connected to the energy of the maiden and is a mutable earth sign, thinking about harvest, thinking about planting seeds, being connected to the earth, being connected to Mother Nature, and letting Mother Nature fill your cup so that way you can go out into the world and provide healing, nourishment, and support for others through those Virgo-like themes. Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, who's our trickster, our communicator, and our genius. You might feel called to chat with people in your life. You might be called to talk things out with people, of like bouncing ideas, brainstorming, heartstorming, things like that during this transit when the sun is in Virgo. Welcome to Sunday, August 23rd at 12:29 a.m. Pacific time. The sun makes a trine to Chiron. The journey that you went on this week can be healing for others. If you feel called to share about it, share about it. Make a post, put it on socials, write a blog, talk about it at your local community circle that you go to, talk about it at the coffee shop with a stranger, at your gym, whatever the case may be, with your kids. Share a story with your kids. Mercury's in Leo. Hey guys, when I was your age, I did XYZ and here's how it turned out for me. We have so much embodied wisdom that we can pass on to future generations through these conversations and through anecdotes and sharing. You could also have somebody come into your orbit that shares a story about their life with you that's really beautiful and heartwarming and brings some healing your way, or a podcast you listen to, or a book or a film or something like that. Now, at 11:17 p.m. Pacific time, Mercury makes a trine to Black Moon Lilith. Sunday night is a good night to write a poem, to channel a song, to do a little rage ritual, something that combines your voice, the power of your voice, or maybe even your hands, like writing or crafting something, to channel and work through your raw primal essence and any leftover residual energy, feelings from the week. That's your Astro Weather forecast for the week of August 17th to the 23rd, 2026. Let me know in the comments below, did that resonate with you? And if you want to go deeper and you want to take advantage of my 20% off reading sale, the link to book with me is below. Just take my Grounded Mystic quiz. It'll pair you up with the best reading for you. And you don't have to have your reading done before September 1st, but anything you book before September 1st, you will get that discount. So I do natal chart readings, transit readings, solar returns, tarot, and I also do couple. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. You could spend the last, I don't know how long this podcast is going to be, 30 minutes or so, listening to something else, watching something else. I appreciate you for taking the time to be over here in my area of the internet. It's so nice to journey with you. If you are in the San Diego or Southern California area, I will be doing mini readings at a market coming up. It's called the Shore and Sage Wellness Market. It's a free market, but the readings are paid, small fee. They're $25 each. And it's on Adams Avenue in San Diego. I would love to see you. We'll be there on Sunday, August 23rd. And I'll see you all soon. Oh, and the link with the information will be in the comments below. Okay, bye.